I'm a homeschool kid. Of course, I had a class on wealth, and I'm going to break down what the elites teach their kids. Most people think the wealthy are just lucky, that they work harder, make more, and somehow stay rich. But what if I told you the rich don't just make money, they know how to hide it in plain sight and pass it down tax-free. Let me ask you something. You work hard, you're building a business, you're saving, investing, planning. But if something happened to you today, would your kids inherit your vision or just your bills? Would your name fade in a generation, or would it fund opportunities for 100 years? See, this isn't just about money. This is about structure. The difference between a first-generation hustler and a fourth-generation millionaire isn't how smart they are. It's whether someone in their family learned this. Wealth isn't what you earn, it's what you protect. And legacy isn't what you give, it's what you design. That's what the 1% do differently. They don't put everything in their name. They don't build empires on public paper. They use trusts, specifically irrevocable trusts, the kind the IRS can't touch, the courts can't reach, and most people never even understand. Today, I'm going to break down how that works in simple terms, so even a 6-year-old could explain it by the end of this video. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how to use these same systems to protect what you're building now, and make sure your grandchildren eat off your name long after you're gone. This isn't theory. This is what the Rockefellers used. This is what the Rothschilds still use. And this is what you're about to learn right here, right now. So grab a notebook, because if you don't write this down now, your kids might not have anything to remember you by later. If this is hitting already, pause and comment "Legacy Locked In" below. Let me know you're not just chasing wealth, you're building it to last. In a few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 3 rules that make irrevocable trusts nearly untouchable. But first, let's bust the biggest myth that's keeping most people broke. Most people think that building wealth equals stacking cash, so they do all the right things. Start the business, buy the properties, open the accounts, pay the life insurance, try to invest for the kids, but they never ask one of the most important questions. What happens to all this when I'm gone? And the truth is, most of it will get eaten by taxes, eaten by probate, eaten by drama, confusion, legal fees, and greedy hands. Why? Because they didn't have structure. They had money, but not protection. They had success, but not succession. They were playing checkers, while the 1% were playing chess with irrevocable trusts. Here's the myth. Most people think irrevocable means permanent, no control, and locked away forever. But let me tell you the wealthy truth. The rich don't lose control. They just shift it. They give up ownership, but keep strategic power. How? With roles like trust protector, appointing trustees, distribution guidelines, silent trust clauses. This means even though their name's not on it, their family still benefits from it for 100+ years. That's how dynasties are made, and that's what we're going to break down next. If you're serious about building lasting wealth, not just quick flips, tap the pinned comment and grab the Wealth Builder calendar. It's built to help you map your time, protect your assets, and build a business that feeds your trust. The real benefits of irrevocable trusts: no fluff, no legal jargon, just what the wealthy know and how they quietly use it to win. You ever wonder why some families stay wealthy forever? Not just rich today, but protected tomorrow, prepared for generations. It's not luck, it's legal structure. And at the top of that list, irrevocable trusts. Let me break down what they actually do. So simple a 6-year-old could get it. 1. They take your assets out of your name and out of the fire. If you get sued tomorrow, everything in your name is vulnerable, but if it's already in an irrevocable trust, it's not yours anymore, which means creditors can't touch it, divorces can't claim it, judges can't seize it. It becomes legally untouchable because it doesn't belong to you, but your family still benefits from it. 2. They slash or eliminate estate taxes. You know that 40% death tax the IRS loves to collect? If you die with millions in assets under your name, your kids could owe hundreds of thousands just to receive your hard work. But if your trust owns those assets, they're not counted against your estate. That means no 40% estate tax, just legacy, just peace. 3. They let you control wealth, even after death. Let's say you want your kids to inherit money, but not blow it. You can write rules inside the trust like, they must graduate to receive income. They'll get access in stages 21, 30, 40. Only investment income, not principal, can be touched. Must pass a drug test, finish a mentorship, or build a business. This isn't just protection, it's direction, because wealth without wisdom, that's just disaster on a delay. 4. They make life insurance a secret weapon. If you have $1 million life insurance policy under your name, guess what? It goes into your estate, which means taxed. But if your trust owns it through an ILIT, irrevocable life insurance trust, it's passed down tax-free. Let me say that again. $1 million, zero tax. 5. They build generational wealth. Legally, with the right kind of irrevocable trust called a Dynasty Trust, you can create 100+ year wealth, skip estate taxes forever, build an empire that outlives you by centuries, and you can set it up in the US, not offshore. Now here's the thing. Most people never get this far. They stop at business, they stop at money, they stop at what's in my bank account. But wealth, true, sustainable, generational wealth, that's structure, that's strategy. That's what you build when you stop playing checkers and start playing legacy chess. If this is clicking, don't just take notes, take action. Click the pinned comment and grab the Wealth Builder calendar, How to Build a Dynasty Trust That Lasts Forever. The blueprint wealthy families use to protect and multiply assets for 100+ years. Let's be honest, most people treat wealth like it ends with them, but the wealthy, they build systems that outlive them, and if you're serious about building wealth that lasts, then you need to structure it to never expire. This is exactly how you do it. Step 1. Choose a dynasty-friendly state. Yes, inside the US. Not all states are built for generational wealth, but some states legally allow your trust to last forever. No expiration date, no forced distributions, no inheritance drama. These are called dynasty states. Top picks: South Dakota, the GOAT, Nevada, Alaska, Delaware, Wyoming, Tennessee. Why these states? No state income tax on trust income, no rule against perpetuities, means your trust can live forever. Bulletproof asset protection laws, silent trust laws, equal beneficiaries don't have to know everything. Built-in flexibility so your trust can evolve over time. You don't have to live there. You just need your trust governed by that state's law and a trustee based there. Step 2. Create an irrevocable dynasty trust. This is your family vault. Once it's set up, here's what you want inside it. Perpetual duration clause. This trust lasts indefinitely unless otherwise stated. Spendthrift clause protects assets from creditors, lawsuits, and divorces. Trust protector role. This person can make changes without needing court approval. Think update terms, replace trustees, adjust rules, distribution rules, income only, staggered access, behavioral incentives, legacy guidelines, add a family mission, values, or even conditions like you must build something before you withdraw anything. This trust doesn't just hold money, it holds standards. If this is blowing your mind, hit like so YouTube shows this to more people who need to see it. Comment legacy below if this is the kind of wealth you're ready to build. Step 3. Fund it with growth assets. You don't want dead money sitting in a trust. You want scalable assets that grow over time. Here's what you can put in: cash flowing businesses, real estate, index funds or stocks, intellectual property, ebooks, music, licensing, YouTube channels, life insurance via an ILIT, royalties, or private investments. These aren't just assets, they're fuel for the future. You want your trust to grow even when you're gone. Step 4. Use a professional trustee in that state. This is key. Your trustee must be based in the dynasty-friendly state you chose. This is how your trust stays protected by that state's laws. Even if you live elsewhere, you can use a licensed trust company, a family office, a bank fiduciary. Just make sure they're legally registered in that state. Optional. Step 5. Add an offshore layer for extra armor. If you're protecting $10 million plus or dealing with global assets, pair your U.S. Dynasty Trust with an offshore trust, Nevis, Cook Islands, Belize, or let your trust own an offshore LLC to hold international real estate, crypto, etc. This is advanced, but if your goal is multi-generational global wealth, it's powerful. Now pause. Let that sink in. You just learned the exact blueprint that Rockefeller-style families use, but here's the difference. They started early. They didn't wait to get rich. They got structured, and now their descendants are living off decisions they made 80 years ago. If you're loving this, subscribe so you don't miss the next parts. We're just getting started, and if you're ready to plan your wealth, not just wish for it, grab the Wealth Builder calendar in the pinned comment. The Legacy Trap. Why most trusts fail and how to make yours last forever. Let's get serious. Most people don't lose wealth because they didn't earn enough. They lose it because they didn't structure it to survive them, and that's the trap. They think having a trust is enough, but listen carefully. A trust without a strategy is just a box, and a box, no matter how fancy, can still rot if it's empty, broken, or opened by the wrong hands. Let me show you the most common mistakes that make trusts collapse and how to make sure yours never does. Mistake number 1, treating the trust like a bank account instead of a legacy system. Too many people treat their trust like a piggy bank. Let's just put the house in it. Let's just dump money in it. But then what? No plan, no growth strategy, no rules. Truth, a trust should be designed like a machine, one that protects, grows, and multiplies your assets. You need a purpose for every dollar, a reason behind every rule, a long game mindset. If your trust doesn't have an operating manual, it won't operate past your lifetime. Mistake number 2, naming the wrong trustee. Your trustee isn't just a signature, they are the gatekeeper of your entire empire. Too many people pick their oldest child, their favorite cousin, their lawyer without question. But what happens when that person becomes emotionally unstable, gets sued, doesn't understand the vision? Now your assets are in the hands of someone unfit to manage them. Fix it. Always include a trust protector role, someone with the power to remove or replace the trustee if needed. That's your insurance policy against poor judgment or unforeseen events. If this is giving you clarity, like this video and comment Built to Last if you're committed to building a trust that lasts generations. Mistake number 3, giving out inheritance instead of releasing responsibility. Here's the difference between rich families and wealthy legacies. Rich families distribute money. Wealthy families distribute values. They don't just give their children access, they give them guidance. Rules like no income unless employed, no distribution without service to others. Access only after completing financial literacy milestones. Because it's not about punishing the next generation, it's about protecting them from poor decisions. Your trust isn't there to spoil, it's there to steward. Mistake number 4, not updating the trust. Life changes. People die, laws shift, business moves, yet people create a trust in 2008 and never touch it again. Now it's outdated, unprotected, and irrelevant. Fix it, build and review cycles. Every 2-3 years, reassess your assets, update your instructions, confirm your trustees and protectors are still fit. A trust is a living strategy. It must evolve, or it will expire before you do. You're not building this for a quick win. You're building this so that your last name outlives your first, so your great-grandchildren know your name, not because of what you gave, but because of what you built. They won't inherit your hustle, but they'll live in the structure you created, and that is what this is all about. Not just saving money, saving your mission. Click the pinned comment and grab the Wealth Builder calendar. Every month, every goal, every piece of this plan laid out in your hands, because if you want your wealth to last, you must make time for it. Up next, the waterfall method. How the ultra-wealthy stack their money to protect the top and flow abundance downward through generations. The Rockefeller waterfall method. How the wealthy stack money for generations. Let me show you how wealthy families like the Rockefellers never run out of money. It's not magic, it's method. They don't just save money, they position it, so it flows like a waterfall. Top down, strategic, protected, perpetual. What is the waterfall method? Think of your trust and your assets like a 3-level waterfall. Level 1, top protection, trust plus islet. This is your irrevocable trust paired with an irrevocable life insurance trust, islet. It holds life insurance, income-producing assets, business shares, core family instructions. This is the untouchable layer. No lawsuits, no taxes, no leaks. It's the headwaters, and it feeds everything below. Level 2, holding companies and LLCs. This is where the trust owns your companies. The trust doesn't just benefit from the business, it controls the business. So whether it's real estate, royalties, consulting, or e-commerce, the trust is now a living owner. It receives income, it sets boundaries, it protects operations. That's power. Level 3, strategic distributions. Now we get to the part most people skip. This is where the waterfall flows. You don't just give money to your kids, you give them access. When they meet certain milestones, when they contribute to the family mission, when they manage assets with wisdom. Think performance-based distributions, not passive handouts. This creates legacy accountability, and that's how you turn inheritance into impact. If this is hitting deep, pause this video and comment waterfall wealth, so I know you're serious about making your trust unstoppable. Why the waterfall method works. It solves the 3 silent killers of wealth. 1. Lawsuits, protected at the top. 2. Taxes, deferred or avoided through trust structure. 3. Laziness, prevented by conditional release rules. Every dollar has a destination. Every move has a mission. Every generation plays a role. You're not just passing money, you're passing governance. simple. Even a 6-year-old could understand. If I gave a 6-year-old $100,000 today, they'd probably waste it, right? But if I told them, you'll get $1,000 every birthday you read a book and explain what you learned, you'll earn more the moment you help someone else grow. You'll lead this trust when you prove you can multiply what you've been given. Now, we're training legacy, not just transferring funds. That's what the Rockefeller method is. It's family wealth with a curriculum. The psychology of protection, rewiring the mind for generational wealth. Let's get into the part no one talks about, because you can have the best trust structure, the top-tier LLCs, the most bulletproof tax strategies, but if the mind isn't protected, the money will disappear. Let me break it down. Money alone can't save a family. You've seen it before. One generation builds it, the next spends it, the third doesn't even know where it went. This is what they call shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. But the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the top 1% of families, they didn't just protect money, they protected mindset. If this is making sense, pause this video and comment, wealth is a mindset. Because before you protect assets, you have to protect beliefs. The truth about psychological inheritance. We talk about generational wealth, but we don't talk about generational habits. Wealthy families pass down systems, standards, self-image. Poor families pass down scarcity mindset and fear of money, distrust of the system. So if you want your trust to actually last, you can't just pass money. You have to pass meaning. How we fix it. Identity greater than inheritance. Most people think inheritance is about what you leave, but legacy is about who you leave behind. So what if we trained our children like this? In this family, we multiply what we're given. We don't spend to impress. We invest to expand. We don't ask for permission. We build positions. Money doesn't make us. We make money serve mission. Now we're building identity, not just accounts. Thought, exercise. What would a 6-year-old do? Imagine your 6-year-old inherits your trust tomorrow. What do they know about money? Do they know how to grow it, protect it, share it with wisdom, use it to build something, or would they just buy a bunch of toys and blow it? This is why you need financial literacy rituals inside your trust. One final gem before we move on. Money doesn't stay where it isn't understood. It flees from confusion, but it multiplies in clarity. And clarity starts with how you think. So the next time you update your trust, ask yourself, am I just passing wealth, or am I passing a way of life? When you build the psychology of protection, your family won't just have money, they'll become the kind of people who keep it. Use it while you're alive. Living benefits of the Irrevocable Trust. Most people think a trust is only useful after they die. Wrong. The wealthy use their trusts while they're still breathing, balling, and building. Let me show you how to do the same. First, shift this thought. A trust isn't a tombstone, it's a tool. It doesn't just protect money when you're gone. It works while you're alive, if you build it right. Real talk. The wealthy don't own things, but they control everything. You see a mansion, they see a trust-owned property. You see a luxury car, they see an asset leased through a trust-owned LLC. You see rich, they see strategic structure. Here's the real wealth flex. I don't own it, but I control it, and I live tax-free. If you're ready to live like the rich, not just look rich, comment below, use the trust, build the legacy. The circle of wealth, the Rockefeller way. Here's how the ultra-wealthy use their trust while alive. 1. Earn income through a business or investments. 2. Transfer it into the trust, legally and strategically. 3. Trust pays for their lifestyle through LLCs it owns. 4. They stay protected from lawsuits, taxes, and liabilities. 5. The trust grows in value, tax-deferred, and sometimes tax-free. This is how you live well, stay legally protected, leave generational wealth all at once. Real examples of living off the trust. You want to travel? The trust owns the travel brand. Business trip? You want a new car? Trust-owned LLC leases the car. You want to pay your child's tuition? The trust allocates education expenses as a wealth strategy. You want a new home? The trust owns the property. You live rent-free. This is legal, ethical, and powerful. And if you don't know how to set it up properly, you'll keep paying out of pocket, while the wealthy pay from the entities they control, not their personal pockets. Here's what to do next. You need 3 layers. 1. The trust to hold and protect your assets. 2. The LLCs to operate and flow money through. 3. The calendar plus system to make sure it runs year-round. Because a trust with no calendar, that's just a vault with no map. And that's exactly why we created the Wealth Builder calendar. Wealth doesn't move unless you do, and that's what this calendar is designed to do. Keep your family executing the trust, not just owning it, but using it. Most people use their trust too late, but if you build it now, use it now, and pass it down intentionally, your family never goes back to zero. This isn't a one-time setup, this is a lifestyle system. Built now, used now, passed down forever. The 100-year wealth structure, how to build a dynasty trust. This is how you make sure your family never starts from scratch again. First, understand this. The average millionaire builds wealth once, but the wealthy, they build systems that keep wealth alive for 100+ years. This is what the Rockefellers, the Waltons, the Mars family, and other quiet billion-dollar dynasties do. They don't pass down just money, they pass down instruction. Dynasty trusts equal legacy on autopilot. A dynasty trust is a legal structure designed to last for 100+ years, or forever in some states, avoid estate taxes every time wealth is passed down, protect assets from lawsuits, divorces, or reckless heirs, keep wealth inside the bloodline, fund every generation's goals, dreams, and vision. Let's break down the dynasty trust. Here's your blueprint for building a 100-year wealth structure. 1. Choose a dynasty-friendly state. You don't need to live there. You just build the trust under their laws. Best states in the U.S. for dynasty trusts: South Dakota, Nevada, Alaska, Wyoming, Tennessee, Delaware. Why? Because these states offer no rule against perpetuities, aka your trust lasts forever. No state income tax on trust assets, more money stays in. Silent trust provisions, you control what your heirs know. Ironclad asset protection. 2. Structure the trust to guide, not just give. This is where most families go wrong. They pass down money, but no guidance. You're going to structure your trust with distribution rules, example, no lump sums, just monthly income. Character clauses, example, must complete education or show business activity. Incentives, example, rewards for family service, community work, or investing. A mission statement that lives beyond you. You're not just handing out checks, you're handing down culture. 3. Fund it with the right assets. Start loading your trust with life insurance, tax-free plus high leverage, real estate, private equity, index funds, royalties or IP, music, books, patents, cash-flowing businesses. The key is assets that grow or cash flow, not liabilities. 4. Appoint the right people you'll need. A professional trustee or trust company based in your chosen state. A trust protector can make changes over time without court. Successor trustees, so the trust always has guidance. Your heirs educated on how it works. Use family meetings, not just money drops. A dynasty trust without a system becomes a forgotten file. A Dynasty Trust with a calendar? That's a generational machine. Why this matters more than ever. Every time wealth gets passed down without a trust, Uncle Sam takes 40%, family drama takes 30%, and poor planning takes the rest. But when you build a 100-year trust the right way, you don't just pass down money, you pass down momentum. You are not just building for yourself, you're building infrastructure for generations. Most people say, I'll be the first millionaire in my family. But you're saying, I'll be the first to make sure no one ever goes back to zero. That's dynasty thinking. That's builder's value code. The wealth execution timeline, also known as how to make this real, you starting this week. We've broken beliefs. We've introduced systems. Now it's time to turn your calendar into a legacy engine. Because the difference between wealthy intentions and wealthy outcomes? Implementation. Quarter by quarter, here's what to do. We're not building wealth someday. We're building it in cycles with clarity. Quarter 1, foundation plus protection. This quarter is about the setup. Choose your dynasty-friendly trust state. Begin working with an estate planning attorney. Outline your trust structure, roles, and rules. Secure high-leverage assets like a life insurance policy. Your goal this quarter: design the shell, set up your protection, think, legal safety net, plus legacy intention. Remember, if you don't set the rules, courts will. Quarter 2, assets plus identity. Now we fund it with power. Move appreciating assets into the trust. Businesses, real estate, investments. Start using your calendar to track family meetings, plus trustee updates, draft your legacy letter, what your values are, and how this trust must move your goal this quarter. Fill the trust with scalable assets, but also fill your heirs with vision. This is the season where structure meets soul. If this is exactly what you've been needing and nobody taught you this growing up, comment below. This is the blueprint my family never had. Quarter 3, visibility plus multiplication. Now that the trust is built, it's time to multiply attention. Launch your visibility system, YouTube, content, education. Educate your family on how the trust works. Train your next leaders, kids, heirs, team, on asset protection. Your goal this quarter: get out of hiding. Make your trust visible, because what they can't see, they can't copy. The wealthy model systems. Let your system be seen, on purpose. Quarter 4, automation plus expansion. This is where it all locks in. Install automations, recurring investments, tax filing, asset management. Build your team, CPA, trust attorney, financial advisor. Begin documenting your family story, videos, books, digital records. Your goal this quarter: make this permanent. Make this system repeatable. Make sure your trust can run without you. Bonus step, annual legacy day. Once a year, on the same day. Review the trust. Host a family wealth meeting. Update your assets, roles, and message. Recast vision for the next generation. This is how you keep momentum for 100 years. You've done what most never do. You didn't just learn a strategy. You rebuilt your identity as a builder of wealth. You're not chasing quick wins anymore. You're building a system that keeps winning. Click the pinned comment now. Grab your Wealth Builder calendar, print it, live it, share it. Let this be the year your family's last excuse dies for good. Because after today, you're not guessing anymore. You're building on purpose. You're protecting what matters. You're writing your family's forever story in ink.